Have you ever wondered why some artists seem to progress so quickly, while others remain stuck for years without seeing significant improvement in their work? From the outside, it might look like there's some kind of magic involved, a secret that only a few know. But in reality, the answer is far from that. Today, we're going to talk about the primary mindset shift that transformed my artistic abilities, and that can surely transform yours as well. You might think that the main factor for improving in drawing and painting is just technique, knowing proportions, shading, perspective. Of course, that matters. But to reach a new level in art, technique alone is not enough. What really makes a difference, what leads you to consistent progress and allows you to create with confidence, is mindset, the attitude you have toward your own learning process. To explain how this mindset shift made a difference, I'll share what helped me grow the most as an artist, and what allowed me to truly enjoy the creative process, instead of just focusing on the final result. By the way, if you're tired of drawing and feeling like nothing is improving, pay attention. Marc Brunet's Art School for Digital Artists was what pulled my drawings out of stagnation and gave me an insane boost. It's like going through an art school, but for a fraction of the price and only with what really matters: perspective, anatomy, color, composition, and much more, all explained step by step, from beginner to advanced. It is, by far, the best and most complete art course on the market. Don't waste time stuck at the same level. The link's in the description. Check it out now. Let's get back to the video. Trade perfectionism for the process. You know that urge to want to make everything perfect? To avoid any mistakes? To start something new only when you're certain it will turn out flawless? I used to be like that too. And that is one of the biggest saboteurs in the art world. I was always frustrated with what I produced, and it felt like nothing was ever good enough. What changed everything for me was understanding that perfectionism is a trap. It creates an unreachable expectation and makes you feel inadequate no matter how much you improve. At first, this concept seemed hard to grasp. But that's when I realized the focus shouldn't be on creating the perfect drawing, but on the process of improvement. When I shifted to a mindset of continuous improvement, my art really began to evolve. I started seeing each attempt, each sketch, each mistake as a valuable part of my journey. This mental shift allowed me to experiment more, test new techniques without fear, and grow much faster. What happens when you accept mistakes? One thing that will radically change your relationship with art is accepting that you're going to make mistakes. In fact, when you understand that mistakes are an essential part of the process, it becomes liberating. Because, believe it or not, every artist you admire has made countless mistakes, more than you can imagine. I started seeing my mistakes as teachers. Instead of feeling frustrated, I began asking, what can this teach me? Each mistake became a learning opportunity. Did I get the perspective wrong? Okay, that shows me where I need to focus in my next study. Did the color look strange? Great. Now I know I need to work more on contrast or color balance. By doing this, I developed a confidence in myself. A confidence that didn't depend on flawless results, but on knowing that I'm always learning, that the next drawing will be better than the previous one. Valuing intentional practice. Another key aspect of this mindset shift was intentional practice. You know the saying, practice makes perfect? Well, it only works up to a point. If you just repeat the same thing over and over without thinking about what you're doing, you end up not progressing. It's like spinning in circles. When I started to understand this, my practice completely changed. I began choosing a specific focus for each study session. Instead of just drawing for the sake of drawing, I'd start by thinking, today I'll focus on anatomy, or today I want to work more on expressiveness. This change brought visible progress and kept me motivated because each practice had a clear purpose. Additionally, intentional practice helps you identify your weaknesses and work on them in a targeted way. It's the opposite of trying to do everything at once. You take small steps, but always in a direction that moves you forward. This makes learning much more enjoyable because you see results. How embracing vulnerability improves your skills. The next step was learning to embrace vulnerability. When we're beginners, it's easy to feel insecure. We avoid sharing unfinished work or pieces that aren't good enough. But you know what? Exposing these learning stages, these works that aren't yet at the level you want, is one of the most powerful ways to evolve. When I started sharing my progress, I realized that, in addition to the support I received, it encouraged me to keep going. I received tips from other artists, valuable feedback, and this helped me see my work from new perspectives. I learned that you don't need to be at the top to show your art. Quite the opposite, sharing your progress helps you connect with other artists on the same journey. Letting go of the final result. This brings us to the next point, letting go of the final result. When we're starting out or even after gaining some experience, it's easy to fall into the trap of wanting every drawing to be the best one yet. But if you truly want to grow, you need to be more attached to the process than to the outcome. Every time you start a new drawing or painting, see it as a learning opportunity, not as a test of skill. Of course, it's great to be proud of what you create, but clinging to the final result is one of the biggest traps for an artist. Instead, try to see each drawing as practice, as a way to explore a new idea or style. This way, you allow yourself to experiment, to dare, to take risks, without the weight of expectation. Trusting your own process. Now, this mindset also involves something very important, trusting your own process. Every artist has a different path. Some progress quickly in certain techniques, others take longer in specific areas. But that's all normal. Each progression is unique, and there's no point in comparing your growth to others. I know it's easy to feel discouraged when you see incredible work from other artists. We find ourselves thinking, I'll never reach that level. But here's the thing. You don't need to be like them, nor keep anyone else's pace. You need to learn at your own pace and trust that with practice and dedication, your growth will happen. When I stopped comparing my art to others and focused on my own progress, everything felt lighter. It's not that I stopped drawing inspiration from others, but the disheartening comparison turned into genuine motivation, a desire to move forward and see where I could go. Enjoying the journey, not just the destination. In the end, the secret to evolving your art and to truly loving what you do is understanding that this journey is a gradual building process. You don't become a complete artist overnight, and you shouldn't expect that from yourself. Every drawing, every painting, every mistake is part of the process of becoming the artist you want to be. So, if there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this, it's this. Value the process. Instead of focusing on the end goal, appreciate each small victory, each lesson. Because that's what will really make your art soar. And more importantly, that's what will make you love what you do. If this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next ones. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to check the description. There are several important links that can help you even more. See you in the next video.